So Kash Patel was in front of the committee. And of course, we're all going, Epstein files, Epstein files. Where in the world is the prosecutions that this podcaster told us was going to happen if he was FBI director that never came to fruition? So when I saw Massie did a really good job of talking to Kash, I was like, oh, what was Kash's reaction?
So I've got 4 documents I'd like to introduce into the record. The first one is Jeffrey Epstein's 6 story played out for years in plain sight. And Acosta is quoted in here saying, I was told Epstein belonged to intelligence and to leave it alone. The second document is entitled, What Epstein's Bodyguard Warned About His CIA Connections. The third document is from Fox Digital. It's titled, Epstein's Private Calendar Reveals Planned Meetings with Obama Admin Official CIA Chief. And the last document is Wall Street Journal article that highlights Ehud Barak's 36 meetings with Jeffrey Epstein. He was the former prime minister of Israel and head of military intelligence for Israel. It may have held that title when he met Epstein, and then, yes.
Without objection, the gentleman will hold for a second. The gentleman from Maryland is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just one UC request. This is Judge Engelmeyer's decision from August in U.S. versus Epstein, stating the government's 100,000 pages of Epstein files dwarfs the 70-odd pages of Epstein grand jury materials.
Without objection, the gentleman from Kentucky is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director Patel, I watched some of your Senate hearing yesterday when Senator Kennedy asked you, you've seen most of the files. Who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these women to besides himself? You replied, according to the transcript, there is no credible information that he trafficked them to anyone else. You also said somewhere in the hearing and here today that the problem is that the case files are constrained by limited search warrants from 2006 to 2007 and that the non-prosecution agreement hamstrung future investigations. Those constraints only apply to the Southern District of Florida. They do not apply to the Southern District of New York, the location of the 2019 sex trafficking indictment, which produced many things, including a series of FD 302 documents. According to victims who cooperated with the FBI in that investigation, these documents in FBI possession, your possession, detail at least 20 men, including Mr. Jess Staley, CEO of Barclays Bank, who Jeffrey Epstein trafficked victims to, victims including minors, such as Virginia Roberts Giuffre, may she rest in peace. That list also includes at least 19 other individuals, one Hollywood producer worth a few $100 million, one royal prince, one high-profile individual in the music industry, one very prominent banker, one high-profile government official, one high-profile former politician, one owner of a car company in Italy, one rock star, one magician, at least 6 billionaires, including a billionaire from Canada. We know these people exist in the FBI files, the files that you control. I don't know exactly who they are, but the FBI does. Have you launched any investigations into any of these people, and have you seen these 302 documents?
Sir, I have asked my FBI agents to review.
Oh my gosh. Massie knows what he's done.
Sir, I have asked my
You see the shoulders? It's like, oh, it's a squirm out. I have asked my FBI agents
to review the entirety of the Epstein files and bring forth any credible information. And we're working with Congress not only to divulge that information and produce it to you, but any investigations that arise from any credible investigation will be brought. There have been no new materials brought to me launching a new indictment.
So is
no new materials brought to me. And you see his body is telling you the truth. He has delegated the job like Trump delegates. But Trump, you know, he's got results, demands them. And for our podcaster here who promised results, I guess I just thought he'd read them himself. Wow, that was crazy for me to think that way. It's so stupid.
Is the loophole here, or is it your assertion that these victims aren't credible, that the 302s maybe didn't produce credible statements that rise to a probable cause?
It's not my assertion, sir. It's the assertion of 2 different United States attorney's offices from 3 separate administrations who investigated those same materials in lifetime.
Are the 302
All right, so I was watching him. Here, you see these fingers? He's going to take 2 of his fingers, the pointer and the middle finger. And he also mentions these 2 attorney generals. And then he flicks them off. So they've been flicked away.
United States attorney's offices from 3 separate administrations who investigated those same materials in lifetime.
Are the
But he's got an ongoing theme of this hand pushing it away. It's being pushed away, constantly being pushed away, constantly. Go away. So it looks like, just from his words and his motion with his hand, that he has delegated the job to FBI agents who have brought him nothing because there's nothing new. And it has all been pushed away because other attorney generals have said no.
Lifetime.
Are the 302 documents in the FBI's possession?
They reviewed all that. Yes, sir.
And so have you reviewed those 302 documents where the victims name the people who victimized them?
If I personally know, but the FBI has.
So how can
And we're also seeing a lot of tightness in his mouth. It's not very, so he's having to get really close to that microphone. His mouth is barely opening to respond. It's extremely stressful. Now, I have no idea. We're just going to assume I have no idea why they would not bring this case, or why he would not go and read it himself to do due diligence on something that he promised that he would do if he was the FBI head. I don't know.
How can you sit here and in front of the Senate and say there are no names?
I said
I named one today.
I said we are not in the practice at the Department of Justice FBI of releasing victims' names. That is not what we do. We are also not in the habit of releasing
Oh, he's pinching him too. Look at this.
of releasing victims' names.
So we got some pinching.
That is not what
Pinching.
we do. We are also not in the
Pinching. So there are names. There are names here. He's holding on to them.
habit of releasing incredible information. That's not what we do. But multiple authorities have.
So then we fist it. So multiple authorities, and he grabs the subject into his hand and holds it extremely tightly into a fist. The mind has closed it down.
Looked at the entirety of what we have.
Okay, I got to move on here. Were you present when the AG had the White House event when she released the binders to the social media influencers?
I was, yes.
So we saw some stress in the mouth.
I was, yes.
Look at that. Stress here. I was, yes. Going back closed. Hide. Angry. That's a stare down right there. And then immediately down. Avoidance.
So if you're willing to meet with social media influencers who stood to benefit from the sensational and sad stories of these victims, will you meet with the victims as well?
The FBI will meet with anyone who has new information.
Will you personally?
The FBI will meet with anyone who has new information. Now we're just getting smart. A little smart ass going on. Because I don't think social media influencers had any new information other than just being influencers. But I digress. I think you're getting the picture. You're not going to get any files. He's literally telling you that. You don't even need body language for that part because he told you that he's delegated to someone else and that someone else hasn't brought him anything and therefore it doesn't exist. So it's not his fault. It's whoever he's delegated it to. Please remember to go and check out my Patreon and website.
Thanks for watching.